Hi guys, my name is Justin Publan, meteorologist with WisconsinDoix.com. I'm here to explain to you how our alert system works, how to get it set up perfectly for your needs, and how the things work behind the scenes, kind of what the alerts are intended to do in that way. So here's our alert tab. You can find it on your account page for members only, and you'll see that up at the top it says you can add up to 3 locations to personalize your experience. You can adjust the notifications where these notifications go, or add SMS text messaging capabilities on the general tab. That's all that's telling you there at the top. So here you're seeing I have 2 locations. I can have up to 3. I have Oshkosh, which is my home city. It's labeled, it's in blue, and it's checked primary right here because it is my home city. It's where I want to focus most of my attention. But let's pretend for a second you want you want to monitor another place, up to 2 places. So in this case, I have Ashland selected. So basically, for alert services right now, you have 2 options: WIWX and NWS. These 2 different labels here for all locations that you add. So I have them checked, both of them for Oshkosh, but I don't have the National Weather Service one checked for Ashland because technically I don't need it if I'm not there. I'm just curious what's going on, or it's just not necessary for me. But basically, if you do just go down here, here's some more information on exactly kind of what I'm going for here with these services. But basically, the WIWX alert service will get you what I'm about to show you. If you wanted to add another location, you just go in here and you type up where you might want to, then you go add. Boom. And by default, these both are going to be checked. You can uncheck them, and that'll update automatically. Okay, so let's start with this. Okay, this is what we call a storm events page. This storm event page. You can see, actually, you can't see it, but there's in the URL, it's just storm.aspx. Question mark S equals an ID number. So this storm was for March 19th, which is a few days ago. You're seeing the infographic here. So this is the main featured image for the event. You're seeing right in here, you're seeing the title of the storm that I gave it, and that can change at any time. Here you're seeing the member-only discussion. Again, this does become available for free at a later part within the event forecast, but for the majority of the forecast, it's member-only, and you're going down through here, you're seeing all that information. There's a detail section on the storm event page, and then posts and media from that storm, which is kind of nice to see it all grouped together. And then if you keep going down, here's the archives. So we archive a few map types, just kind of for fact checking a little bit, and so those are there. I don't know. I think these should be highlighted. There might be a bug here, but yeah. So when you click on that, it should take you to the radar loop. Here's your storm reports. So this is the storm event page. This is like a summary of everything that's going on, that went on, that's expected to happen. A lot of the information will be grouped here. Okay, so how does this come together, and where is its position in the alerts communication system? So when I click this gear, you don't see this, but I do. So I can go right in there, and this is the admin side of things. This is where I make changes to the storm forecast whenever I need to. Interesting. It's just loading a little bit slow right now, and it'll pop up in a second. But so you're seeing the options I have here. This is an info tab, which I'm on right now. No, there's the information that pops up. You're seeing a start time, an end time, and a key date. You're seeing the feature image that I've selected, and I'm seeing all greens here. So I got most of my information put in there, which is good. A summary for just kind of a summary. Perhaps when you're seeing it on social media, or you're Googling it and you're finding the basic information, this is what shows up in that summary section. I've given it a class. I've given it a confidence level, hazards, that kind of thing. Which you can all find on the storm page that I just showed you. Here's where I enter the text for the forecast. So at any time I can go in here and update it. I have complete control. I mean, yes, I shouldn't really be doing too much of this, but I can do that if I want to. But most of the time, what I end up doing is just creating another section here and going, okay, since yesterday, XYZ. So XUZ, XYZ. So that's that part of it. Here's the map section, okay? So to create the maps that are used and shared across social media and on our website, and the ones that are member only, basically I have to upload a map that I create elsewhere. Once that's in there, it processes the data to create these maps that you're seeing here. And then I get to see that right away. I'm not sure where the verification. Oh, it just hasn't loaded up yet. But yeah, see, so now I can go in here and see, okay, where do I need to make tweaks or changes? And then quickly I can just do that by uploading a new map and saving it. So here's the alert section. This needs to be refreshed because it's loading very slowly. Reload. But basically, yeah, so this needs to load a little bit faster. What you're seeing, basically, what I can do here is segment a part of Wisconsin. I don't have to do the entire state. I don't have to do the entire region. I can just do a handful of counties if I want to. If you just get it to load. My home internet is kind of slow with this for some reason, but it works on mobile just fine. Mobile data. It's like my mobile Wi-Fi is just really slow. My home Wi-Fi is very slow. Yeah, so it's just telling me here at the top that I've sent a notification for this event, and I can resend it if I want to. I have the ability to select all regions, or I can do it manually in here. So I can just expand this out and go, I don't want Brown or Calumet in this message that I send out. So when I send it, it goes to a variety. You know, it'll if you've signed up for SMS text messaging, it'll go to your phone or your mobile device. If you've only allowed email, then it'll be sent to your email address. And that's the storm events page. That's sort of something that happens 24 to 72 hours before the storm occurs. It's intended to be a little bit quicker than the National Weather Service stuff. Okay, so that's the first part of the WIWX alerts system, as I call it. The next part is the storm updates system, which we just rolled out in early part of the winter of 2019 into 2020. It's new, and I'm still maybe trying to figure out the best way to use it, but I think this is more of a short range or already happening way of notifying you, and it's meant to be more direct and more serious. So I tend to use it less frequently. You're seeing here, in this case, this is a storm update post type. It says snow likely overnight with a dash. Latest models showing up to an inch or so in portions of central, even southern Wisconsin. So that's the update. When I click on it, it should take you. I'm just clicking on the image. I think because these things are spinning here, we're going to close that, leave. Yep. I just have safeguards to make sure that I'm not overwriting something I've already done when I have multiple windows opened up. See, here's just when I clicked on the image, that's what pops up. But when you click on it, it's taking you to the post page, just like a blog post. It's the same page, and you're saying, okay, here's all the information. You can like, share, do whatever you want from that point, leave a comment, and then the recent stories underneath. So that's the storm update. But to update that storm update from an admin perspective, I click this gear. Again, you're not going to see that, but I will. I'm going to go in here and says, this is some of the information. So this is an update I already sent, but if it was a new one, it'd look a little different. But it says storm update was published to 18 members at XYZ time. And then here's the link to that live thing. And then here's kind of the information behind it. I have the ability to tag a storm event directly. I'm not sure if there's any use to that. So I do it anyways. I'm saying it's optional to myself basically, but then the send notification, I can only send a storm event notification once. So sometimes I don't have to send it immediately, but this is intended to be really quick, rapid fire. So that's how that kind of plays out. And then again, it's the same thing here. Again, this map's not loading because it's taking a while to load my page today. I can delete the storm update too if I want at any time, but it's pretty simple. It's meant to be fast, quick. But yeah, so that's how that looks. So this would be received, this page would be received to your SMS or email address if you don't have SMS text messaging in a similar way as the storm event. So they're very similar, but they're different. The time frame and the intent are different. But you get both of these when you check that box for WIWX alert. Okay. I tend to send these out more frequently. Here's more of these updates. Okay. What this doesn't include is the blog. Okay. Here's the blog. The reason the WIWX alert system does not include this, I can send this out as an email whenever I want, not like anything else. But this is more. I've changed the goal of this system to be more. I don't know. Maybe I'm not using the right word here, but to hit a broader audience or talk about different things. Maybe time's not much of a factor. Maybe, if there was a major storm coming, I might put something on here. But basically, this is also a way to do a weekly to monthly forecast, do member specific or member only forecasts. So I have a lot of options with this, and it's not necessarily because I have these other systems, like the update system. I don't need to use the blog for that. So, but this is the blog. So here's a member-only story that I wrote. It looks like a couple weeks ago now. But why the weather pattern could turn stormy, and then I kind of went through all the information there. Why I was thinking that way, and then to update that, all I need to do is press this gear. Again, I'm only going to see this gear. You won't. But we go into it, and then it's probably going to take a while to load again. I'm going to close this down. But yeah, it's basically loading the admin while we wait. Here's the National Weather Service. Okay, it looks like we're not. Sorry. I'm trying to do this when I'm trying to just be as organized as possible with this update here. So here's what the blog tool looks like from the back end, admin only, and you're seeing here's a title. I can specify, why the pattern will turn stormy. Short description, which is kind of like the summary from the storm events tool that I showed you at first, the first one I showed you. It's the same purpose. And then here's the blog with the tools, and then when I scroll down, you see these tools that get pinned to the top. So this is just a preference that I like to have. All the information about that, So a section, so this is something that I've played with, and it's not really functional. So I won't go into it. I'm the author, but if somebody who was an admin who I wanted to change something, or they wanted to change something in my story, that they can go in and change it without changing the author. So it seems pretty self-explanatory, but it's kind of a tricky thing sometimes. The categories, so I have multiple options, and this is actually tuned into our category. Well, this is our category system, but it's tuned into the forums as well. So maybe there's some point down the line we can create somewhat of a hybrid between the forums and the blog. But it's nice to have all these categories kind of there. It's an easy way to do things. Yes, I've specified that this is a member-only story. And we don't do a whole lot of them, but the ones that I do, they tend to have very thorough, detailed information in them. This is basically a blog post I can actually attach to a storm event if I want to, but there's really no purpose because when you go and look at the storm events page, they will be all there anyways, so based on the time frame. But perhaps, in some situations, this story may come out 3 days after the storm has ended, in which case I want to still attach it back. You know what I mean? So here's an old regions thing. This is really bad, and I really should probably, I don't use it at all anymore. So this will probably be removed or replaced with the other system I've developed. And then lifetime, so I can end a storm if I want to, today or tomorrow at, so I'm just going to change this date back. But basically, so if I really wanted to just make it go away, I can, but I try not to do that. That's probably not the best, most honest way of doing business. And then here, email members, I can email, or I can, basically it's saying that I already emailed this out to our members. I can resend it if I want to, but I don't need to at this point. And then here's just a preview for me to see a redirect link. Sometimes if the story expires or you've closed it off, you want to send people just real quickly to the latest information, and that's what this is here for. I didn't need to do that for this one. So that's how that works. Now here's the last final piece. Now we're going to go back and look at the alerts page. On your account page, you're seeing alert services. We talked about the WIWX one, the National Weather Service. Now this one is what corresponds to this information. You can be sent. Let me just check here because I don't remember. So National Weather Service warning and alerts do get sent to both email, can be sent to both email or SMS. If you have SMS, it'll be sent there first and won't be sent there. But if you don't have SMS, it goes there to email. So, when we look at that National Weather Service, we look at here. So here's kind of just the view that I use sometimes to see what's going on in the world. It looks like we have some flood watches right now. It's pretty quiet. An advisory for dense fog in this county. So when I click on that, we're going to go and click on this one and see where this takes us. Because when you are sent your notification, you're sent a link to this page. And what does this page show you? Well, maybe we can find one that's a little bit more complicated. Let's try this dense fog advisory one. Just to show you, because when it comes from the National Weather Service, they do a lot of alterations to the information that you see. Again, I'm clicking on, so basically, this notification was sent effective at 3:49 p.m. on Thursday. It's a flood watch issued by the National Weather Service in Milwaukee. So this is all the information. This is all free to see. But to get the notification as it comes out, you need to be a member. But basically, yeah, condition, the status is it's continuing. Expires 1 p.m. on Tuesday, this Tuesday. And then here's the see details part. But this has already been expanded, and it's just showing you the text under there. But the image is pretty cool. It kind of gives you a map. This is what you will see. It's delivered to you. Again, this is made with our mapping system. But basically, just to give you some context, right, for that. And then a little bit more administrative, just details. Oh, here we go. Here's the dense fog. Finally loaded. Again, like I said, my home Wi-Fi is very slow today. This is just showing issued, expires, and the counties is impacting ETN, WFO, just some stuff that sometimes is interesting to some people. It's not really functional for me because I don't really pay attention to the National Weather Service information as much as I try to just make sure that our WIWX system is functioning as best it can and ahead of this. So yes, so when you go onto this page, you're seeing there's a multiple statements that came out for this one dense fog advisory when it was new. A portion of it was canceled. So when you're seeing the new one, you're seeing that there was a bunch of counties that initially were given this dense fog advisory, and then over time that's been trimmed down, canceled. So they canceled these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counties, but they kept the one that was over here. So it continues is for their Green County. So that's how the National Weather Service warning system works. Now, again, there are other services you can use for the National Weather Service stuff, which is fine. I mean, if you want to go that route, that's cool. But what we offer is, in addition to this, is a step ahead, an advanced warning system with the WIWX stuff. So this is kind of a look behind. Again, there's no admin tools with this particular situation. You can find this page by going to the map section at the header navigation and then going to that and then clicking through. And this changes and fluctuates throughout the day and throughout an event. The other options you have are to go to the forecast section, go to news. Now on the news section, we were talking about the blog before. Remember when I talked about that member-only story? Here it is. It's in the news section. The 7-day forecast, that's a whole separate deal. We don't send out notifications for that. The storms that I was talking about, the storm event. So this is the storm events summary page. And then when you click to it, you get to the storm event page. So go back. And then the updates, these are the rapid fire things. Just going through things in reverse or going through things and summarizing them, basically. Here's just to show you. In the updates section, we do get reports show up because of our members who send in a report that's basically saying, from this report says, Daddy Yoho. I'm just kind of guessing that's the way that's pronounced, but they have sent in a report for 2.53 inches. So that might be information that you would like to see in this latest update section. So that's that, and then the monthly for members only, and then local, which is actually kind of the baseline. What most places, most weather sources will show you is this last final tab called the local. We also have, under the local tab, we also have an hourly section if you're interested for that. Okay, thanks for listening. I hope this was interesting in some way. I know, even when I look at it, there's a lot going on here and it's pretty complicated. So it's kind of nice to just take a step back a little bit and kind of review what these things are used for. So I will keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching and talk to you soon.